Alright, so we have a brand new abyss that's being called hard by at least one Reddit post I randomly stumbled upon, so I'll take their word for it. I'll ignore floor 11 for the most part since, it's usually leagues and bounds easier than floor 12, but let's give it a little look-see. Okay, yeah, we got some little dudes here. Actually, kind of a lot of, slightly bigger dude. Pyro agent, ruin dudes. Oh, actually big dude. And another big dude. Are those eremites? Oh, we also got the water drops. All right, that was floor 11. So, floor 12. We start the first chamber with two fluid avatars of lava. As you might imagine, they have big pyro res, as well as a constant pyro aura. This is good for cryo or hydro DPSs as it allows for easy reactions. Their main annoyance comes when they go underground, but otherwise not a huge deal. After they're dealt with, we have two eremites. We've seen them a lot by now. They'll summon pets, and defeating the pets makes the eremites much easier to destroy. The res to their element will get decreased and they'll be stunned for a time. These two in particular are weak to Dendro and Pyro respectively after defeating the pets. And yeah, there's even a third wave here. Two consecrated beasts at the same time. We got the red vulture and horned crocodile. The main thing to note with these guys is their natural res to Pyro and Hydro and the little item they eventually spawn. It's important to destroy and it's much easier with the same element as the item. A single Pyro attack on the Pyro item will destroy it. Otherwise, you need 6 non-Pyro attacks. When destroyed, your next attack will be buffed to not only deal good damage to the beast, but paralyze them as well, and give them their base 10% res from all elements, so you can also deal good damage with your characters in that 10-second time frame. Moving on to chamber 2, we have a single enemy, a boss, the Tyrant. We've seen him plenty as an overworld boss, so I assume his mechanics are similar here. As you might imagine, Hydra works well on him for his most annoying ability. He gains a Pyro shield, and the best way to remove that is with Hydro. Electro is okay as well, but half as effective. He can also fly around in this state, making melee attacks basically impossible to land. Farina with her pets are basically a cheat code to this boss. Otherwise, he will also spawn a fire flower that's easy to destroy with Hydro. If you do so, he will soon after become vulnerable to melee. If not, he goes back to flying. At the end of the transformation, either from waiting 45 seconds or by removing the Pyro bar, he'll crash to the ground and become stunned for a moment. That's your time to get in as much damage as possible and defeat him. Finally, chamber 3, the Golden Wolf Lord. Ouch. Been a while since we've seen him, and he needs something pretty specific unless you have incredibly strong units. That's Geo. Once he enters his special mode, he'll spawn 3 skulls that can basically only be broken by Geo. I say basically because it's technically possible to destroy them with other elements, but you need 38 instances of other element damage per skull versus a paltry 3 Geo gauge units. Since the non-Geo elements don't rely on gauge units or internal cooldown in this case, a massive amount of off-field ticks may be viable. Fun fact, Zhongli's burst applies 4 gauge units of Geo, so he can just straight up one-shot one of them. Once the skulls are destroyed, he falls to the ground, becomes stunned, and takes extra damage. This is, again, your time to defeat him. The wolf can also apply corrosion, so a healer would make the fight more comfortable, even with Zhongli. But okay, now let's talk about team and characters for the first half of floor 12 here. Unless you're confident about killing Wolflord before he enters that phase, you should have a Geo with you. Zhongli, a current banner unit, of course, being great. I've yet to try Zealonin versus him, but I imagine she's pretty good as well. Goro can also work, especially since he's a bow user and won't have to run as much. It's just that he's kinda useless in the other chambers unless you're running a Geo DPS. For the other 2 chambers, the best units are a mix of Pyro and Hydro, with Hydro being better for damage reasons. So a Vaporize team or just the other current banner unit, Neuvillette, wink wink nudge nudge, with a Pyro support for example. Even the Pyro support in this case is more optional. It's not needed but can help versus the Pyro consecrated beast if you have trouble. Taking a look at the second half, we start with 2 Geo Vishaps. Unless these are the local legend variant, there's not much to worry about. They can absorb an element, which will change their attacks a bit, but nothing special to take care of. They naturally have a good amount of Geo and physical resistance though. After they're defeated, Big Mama Bishop comes along. Basically a bigger version. This one will start the fight being infused with one of the 4 main elements. As far as I know, in Overworld, this changes on a daily basis, but in Abyss, I'm not really sure. The main important thing to note is that it has a big attack that can be blocked by a shield, and by doing so, reflects big damage to the boss. If the shield is Geo or the same element as the boss, it does a lot more. More importantly even is the boss's resistance to all elements gets reduced a ton for 5 seconds after countering in this way. Chamber 2 brings a newer boss to the scene, and apparently, specifically for Abyss, it has massive resistance to all elements unless paralyzed. Then it just has 0%, not even negative res. It can transform into a ton of different bosses, emulating their moveset, but the most important mechanic is its white bar there. Like with the Wolflord skulls, you can eventually fill this bar up with any elemental attack, but specifically Nightsoul Soul aligned attacks from Natlan characters will be 3 times as effective. Once the bar is filled, it'll be stunned for a time, have its resistance reduced, and you can deal much more damage. Even when it recovers, it'll only recover half of its initial resistance. And finally, we got the good old Aeon Blight Drake, quite common in Abyss actually, and not that threatening. You really should have a bow user with you though. Depending on which element causes the Drake the most damage, he'll eventually absorb that element and gain a big resistance to it. He has 4 weak points though. If you shoot both weak points on the wings or the chest and head weak point, he'll fall down, get paralyzed, and remove the absorbed element, along with, of course, its resistance. Overall, a tanky but not super difficult boss if you have a bow user. So teams and units for second half mainly include a shielder for the big Bishop, at least one Natlan character for the Papilla, and any bow user for the Drake. Zhongli or Noelle are both good picks for shield. Ororon and Chasca are good for the other bosses, but they're new units. As far as I know, they're the only ones that fill both roles of dealing Night Soul aligned attacks and being able to use bows at the same time. The element of the main DPS doesn't really matter as long as it's not physical. Geo is a little rough for the Bishops, but possible with countering. So besides the above, just take whoever is strongest and built best. With that in mind, let's give floor 12 a try with these teams. Obviously, I'm a bit of a whale and it probably won't be that hard for me. First off, we have Neuvillette, Zeonin, Emily, and Shanling. This team can probably kill the wolf at the end without needing to break the skulls, but we'll see how good Zeonin is at it anyway. Zhongli, Ororon, Xingqiu, and Nahida for second half. Kind of a weird team, obviously not the best team possible, but I wanted to employ the various strategies and mechanics we've been talking about and not just brute force Abyss with Primogems as I usually do. The only thing I'm really worried about here are the Consecrated Beasts at the end. I'm actually just going to save Shanling's Burst. I mean, these guys are like constantly on Pyro, and sometimes I have a bit of an issue getting Shanling's ultimate back, even though I feel like she has a lot of energy recharge. But yeah, I'm just not going to bother using it. Here on these guys, we certainly can. Let's do that real quick. Do her burst, go back to Neuvillette, and hopefully maybe destroy those pets first. I mean, they were kind of dying at the same time there. All right, but anyway, here we have the Consecrated Beast. We are going to go ahead and heal because I think, I mean, everyone's pretty healthy right now, but even so. Let's go ahead and drop Emily's Burst here. Shanling unfortunately doesn't have it yet, but we'll just go ahead and do that. I would like to see their little, oh no, okay, wait, we're gonna not kill him. I do wanna at least see the little hydro thing pop up. Maybe he's spawning it right now. Ah, there it is, there it is. So we're just gonna do Neuvillette's E for, yeah, okay. That was Neuvillette's like extra Fontaine attack. Apparently it counts for that as well. But all right, second half here. Yeah, we just got the Bishops. Don't really need Ororon, honestly, right now. This is kind of like a pseudo Hyperbloom team, I guess. Zhongli and Ororon are basically just there because of how they are, you know, for the boss mechanics. So we do got the big mama now. Those 2 Bishops were not too big of an issue. We'll go ahead and use Ororon a bit. I mean, obviously as the Hyperbloom trigger in this case as well. He works pretty well. We are just going to wait, okay, yeah, until that text pops up, and then we'll just go ahead and get a Zhongli shield. And I think he already took the damage and is currently taking extra damage. I think we unfortunately missed our window there to get some like really good damage on him, but we'll probably have another chance here. I actually just realized we only have 30 seconds left. I know I did wait a bit on the consecrated floor, but I'm surprised we're almost out of time anyway. Maybe we'll try and wait for him to do another attack. Oh no, that's right. I think under 20%, he doesn't do that anymore. He does something else. But yeah, he just died anyway. Chamber 2 first half. We got the boss here. I'm just going to kind of hope Neuvillette can hit him while he's flying. I didn't try it yet. So he is up in the air already. Oh, he's like really high. I don't think that's working. I mean, I think I saw something. Farina would probably be like way better. Oh, but we got rid of the flower, which means he's just going to be on the ground now, or at least within melee range. His shield is gone. We can start the real rotation now. Unfortunately, we did use like Neuvillette's burst and kind of everything, so it won't be like that great, unfortunately. I think it would be good to have a second Hydro. I mean, we could still take care of him pretty quickly. Or I mean, just not trying to hit him with Neuvillette's beam until you destroy the flower and he's like, you know, down on the ground for a bit. That probably would have been enough. All right, now we got the Papilla. This is probably one of the most annoying ones since you kind of need like a specific unit here. And we do have Ororon, which is a pretty good, like, fast-firing dude here. And it looks like, yeah, he's already disabled. So, yeah, Ororon did a pretty good job there. Unfortunately, we don't have, like, a ton of Electro from him right now, but we can do some solid damage here. We're just going to keep cycling between everyone. Ororon's burst does last quite a while when you can get it. I guess if we want to make it easier on ourselves, we're just going to see if we can kill this guy before the skulls come. I think Neuvillette could probably solo him. Like, we have no buffs right now, but we're still getting like I don't know, 50k ticks or something. Well, we'll see if there's any way to like maybe be a little bit more efficient with Zealand in here. So yeah, it would definitely be better to not dash between the skulls, just walk normally. So you have more time in this geo mode here. I guess I never even really thought about that, but yeah, he's down already. So that was much, much faster. All right, that should do it. We saved a few seconds, wasn't like massive or anything, but all right, there we go. I'm actually going to start with Xingqiu and Nahida, get some blooms out on the field before doing his burst. We'll go and do his E as well. Hopefully get a little bit extra damage in there. I think this time we can do it. He just got the Dendro res, but honestly, I think with how little HP he has, we should be able to just do that, yeah. But okay, there it was. And I mean, yeah, we didn't have like a massive amount of issue with it. But again, I do have like exceptionally strong units, and we actually took the time to learn about all the enemies here and take at least somewhat appropriate units to deal with them and their weak spots. So even with strategy, I mean, we had to restart Chamber 3 and it was close on, you know, Chamber 1 at least. If I had gone in essentially blind, just like maybe taking a quick glance at the enemies and going in with what I thought would be good, I think it would have been a lot harder. But there was at least some thought put behind the teams, which is, yeah, something I honestly don't really do that often. I just try and steamroll with my 2 best teams, and at the end of the day, it does pretty much always work out. But yeah, without some thought going into the team, I think it would have at least been a lot harder. I don't know if there's any internal cooldown on building up the bar, so if Chasca is going to be even good for that, I'm a little curious to see, so I guess we will. My Chasca is not built super well right now because Kanich is back in his good gear, but I finally did at least make an okay set for her. So I still feel like a Hydro DPS for first half is almost mandatory though. Would also be a decent opportunity to try Zhongli in first half for the Golden Wolf Lord. All right, yeah, Neuvillette's obviously not doing that much damage anymore. I guess mainly because no Zealand buff, but I mean, they still did die pretty fast there. We are gonna try and like aim at the pets there. But yeah, that worked out fine. And the consecrated beasts, if they don't spawn their little orb, I'm not going to like give them a chance to do so either. It'd probably be more important to get rid of the pyro one in this case because we don't have any pyro. If the Hydra one spawns it, that's fine. I don't think he did anyway, unless I just can't see it. Oh, he's doing that now. But he's like so close to dead. If he can just die, please. Now we got the good old Chasca team. Oh yeah, we actually don't have a shield. We also have like almost no way to heal, just Benny here, which doesn't have his burst. All right, this is going not good at all. What are we doing to the dude? I mean, it's like pretty decent damage, actually. We don't have a shield. We're just gonna hope we can tank it. I don't think it actually did damage to Chasca. Maybe it missed because she's up in the air. That's kind of a neat little thing we just figured out there. Okay, I think one more. Actually, probably could have just bursted, but sure. Okay. Yeah, that was actually perfectly fine without a shield. Maybe the team is kind of overpowered. I don't know. My Chasca is C0, but she does have her signature weapon and C2 Farina. All right, this guy is probably going to be a problem here. Yeah, he's like already flying, dude. That's so annoying. But let's try the strategy we were talking about before. Okay, so there's one flower. I think we got it in time. And yeah, he's kind of chilling there for a little bit now, kind of more in melee range. And there he goes. Should be disabled now. We should be able to get some decent damage on him, I suppose. Go ahead and get Zhongli burst. Hopefully we can just destroy him now. Yes, I think so. Okay. Benny is looking a little worse for wear, so hopefully we can do this. We're actually not going to use Ororon because I'm curious to see how well. Ooh, okay, she's really good at it. There's no internal cooldown on building that white bar, as you can see there. Now we can hop back up with Benny boost and start dealing some decent damage now. And yeah, Chasca alone is definitely enough by herself. We actually have quite a decent amount of time here left. That was insanely cool. Chasca died frame perfect upon us defeating the boss. So first skull, we're just going to do the good old burst and it's gone, as you can see. Nice. And then yeah, we should be able to just throw a pillar here and a pillar on the other one. And that should probably do it. Yep, there it goes. Okay, yeah, pretty easy. But without Chasca, yeah, I just don't think that's really gonna work. Even if we could like instantly disable. Oh wait, it was probably Farina's minions and I just got like lucky. Oh yeah, look, they at least got one. It's probably very luck based though, because like they've been out the entire battle and only one weak point has been disabled. But yeah, the Chasca and Ororon combo I knew was like strong already, but especially good for second half. And actually I would think you don't even have to disable the Drake with Chasca. She can just hit him normally, right? Damn it. Okay, I'm going back in because I want to see that now. We're going to try without Farina just because I want to go with my steamroll team for first half. This one I imagine will be a lot easier as well with Farina there. So let's see how fast it goes with both Ororon and Chasca here. I usually should do her burst. Oh yeah, by the time we actually get up there, he's already like disabled, so that's pretty good. We can basically start doing the actual damage with Chasca then. I mean, still pretty good, actually. Still over a minute left. No, so close. 28 seconds? Is it consistent at least? Go! No. Okay, it's not completely consistent because we were at 29 seconds. I don't know, maybe it's just luck, whatever. So what about this dude? Can we just like not even get him down from the sky? We'll see. I mean, does he target anything? I don't think we can like specifically look at a weak point to target it though, unfortunately. I still think though, because she can hit him so consistently, it's like, do you really need to get him down? I don't know. Yeah, it's super hard to get energy when like we can't hit him with anyone's elemental skills while he's up here, but like, as you can see, it does work. Like, dude is almost dead in what, like a minute maybe? A minute 10? In most cases, you will need more time for the wolf. But yeah, it wasn't so bad. I'm of course a little disappointed that like you can't specifically hit the weak points with Chasca, unless you're still on the ground and use her bow mode, which would probably be the better idea generally. But yeah, there was the new Abyss. Honestly, I didn't have a ton of trouble with it, but again, that's because of my account. And I think maybe also importantly, because we went in prepared this time, we kind of researched the enemies, the bosses, knew the mechanics, and took appropriate units. So I do think it's definitely on the harder side. Harder than the last one for sure, in my opinion. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Dropping a like or subscribing to the channel if you enjoyed is always greatly appreciated as well. Thanks, as always, for watching, and until next time.